forward to NCAA regional final action on ESPNU the rest of the afternoon and evening. The first from the Dayton Regional. And we welcome you inside our ESPNU studios with you all afternoon and evening. I'm Kara Capuano, joined by former Butler middle blocker Elizabeth Moreau. We are looking forward to 4 straight NCAA regional finals. We start with the Dayton Regional, a couple of Pac-10 teams squaring off in Dayton, Ohio. Yes, you heard that correctly. It's the 3-seed Stanford taking on Southern California in the first of our 4 matchups. 4 Pac-10 teams remaining in the field. California and Washington also playing later tonight. What do you expect from what is going to be now the 3rd matchup of the season between Stanford and Southern California, Elizabeth?
Well, I think it's not going to be as easy for Stanford as it was in the last 2 matches to beat USC. This USC team is young, they're tough, they're athletic. They're going to come out wanting to win. I think what you said about being far away from home is going to be hard for both teams.
It's going to be hard for them to ramp up the energy, but with the opportunity to play for a national title on the line and knowing how strong the Pac-10 is in volleyball, I think we're going to be ready to kick off with a strong match. Alex Jupiter will lead it for USC.
That's so dumb.
Don't be left behind. Get it first with AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network, period. Rethink possible.
This is Dr. Love!
And this is Dr. Pepper Cherry. It's got a little kiss of cherry flavor.
You want cherry? How about a little kiss?
You can't beat a little kiss of cherry. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Is she awake?
Just fell asleep. Why are you up? It's 2 a.m.
It's not just 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. Christmas morning. It's our first Christmas as a family. I couldn't wait.
Levion Jewelry, featuring Levion chocolate diamonds. Levion, one more reason K is the #1 jewelry store in America.
You think she'll remember this Christmas?
I know I will.
Every kiss begins with K.
This sets up a rematch of a regular season series. I'm Holly Rowe along with Krista Blanc. And Krista, these 2 teams met twice in the regular season. Stanford won both of those matches, and in large part behind the arm of their Pac-10 Player of the Year, Alex Kleinman. She had 42 kills in those 2 matches.
Yeah, what a presence Alex Kleinman brings when she is out on the floor. She's the kind of player that will change the other team's defenses, and she can hit above any block with a variety of shots. With those options, it causes major problems for the defense. She's just a different level of player.
Now for USC, they've got a lot of talented freshmen in the lineup, but their offense will have to revolve around Alex Jupiter, a junior outside hitter. She had 19 kills in that first meeting against Stanford.
Yeah, USC, a very young team. They have to rely on their veteran, and Alex Jupiter is that player. She struggled a little the past couple of years with her timing, but not this season. She has been on explosive quickness that allows her to get the shot she wants before the defense can get itself set.
the year in the Pac-10. She'll also be joined by freshman middle blocker Alexis Olgard. And the libero, Natalie Hagelin, also a freshman, getting major action for USC. They are led by Mick Haley in his 10th season. He has 2 national championships with the Trojans, but it's been a while. They are anxious to get back in the mix. Stanford, on the other hand, is powered by 3 seniors. We told you about Player of the Year, Alex Kleinman, but they really rely on their setter, Cassidy Lichtman. She does a little bit of everything for them. And then Gabby Ailes, their libero, one of the best in the country, and working her way up those career charts in the Pac-10 at that position. Led by John Dunning, 10th season as the Stanford head coach. He's got 2 titles at Stanford. He won 2 at Pacific. And we're underway. And right off the bat, USC on the serve. It's on the scoreboard.
Well, Holly, Mick Haley told us that his team had to make some adjustments. 2 losses in the regular season to Stanford. Something has to change. A lot of that will be on the defensive side.
Kendall Bateman, the service for USC. And Kleinman finds the back line.
One of the things that USC is going to try to do against Alex Kleinman, number 10 right there, they are going to try to play more of what you think of as a zone defense. They're going to try to back out a little bit and not move so much.
So Carly Wopat, a talented freshman for Stanford with a very fierce jump serve, and you see it there. Quick middle attack read by Stanford. And here's Kleinman again. These teams very familiar with each other, as you can see by this extended rally right off the bat. Jupiter blocked. Tries to change it up and maybe thinking too much on that one.
Yeah, that can happen at times. You know, maybe some jitters here early on, but there's so much at stake for both of these teams. And I think the toughest thing is that both teams do know each other so well.
6'2" freshman out of California, and Carly has that great jump serve we noticed yesterday in their match against Ohio State. Very effective. Overpass. There's a 6'6". Haley Spellman gets the point for the Cardinal, imposing at the net.
What a presence from her up at the net, and the lefty on top of it, which just can throw you off a little bit more if you're going at her.
Remember, in this first set, it is rally scoring, point for play. Go to 25, or you have to win by 2. It is the best of 5 sets, and the final set will be to 15.
We talked about Carly Wopat, the freshman, and her serve. Check out that top spin, causing problems for Stanford. And Mick Haley for USC said this match will come down to serve and pass. And right now, it's going Stanford's way.
Jupiter outside gets the point, and the service back for USC.
That's what USC has to have. They've got to get the pass. They've got to get it to their main go-to right there, Alex Jupiter.
Jupiter, out of Paris, France, came to the U.S. as she serves long, primarily to be a beach volleyball player. She's ended up playing indoors more and more, and Coach Mick Haley told us today she's finally this season really making that adjustment.
Yeah, big adjustment to go from beach play to the hard court, and it has been a struggle for her, very inconsistent, but not this year.
Now into the match for Stanford, Carissa Cook on that serve. Back set, and here's Lichtman. This is that 6'2" offense. 2 setters in the match for Stanford. And that time, Carissa Cook with the back set to Walker.
Stanford runs the 6'2", as you mentioned. Cook is in. You just don't expect Lichtman then to be coming at you with the big arm, their other setter, but she's out there, and she's got quite a quick arm.
Cook with the service error gets the side out back to USC. And here's that freshman libero we told you about. Haley telling us today that the thing he loves about Natalie Hagelin is that she competes. She is a championship surfer, won a championship in high school, and she competes at everything. Kleinman rolls it over. You can tell these 2 teams so familiar with each other early on. Inside for Fenoyana.
A lot of pressure on this player coming in. The #1 player nationally for prep volleyball. And a big adjustment, too, just the balance of Division I volleyball at this level and then the college grades.
There she is again, and she gets the point again. She was a little shaky yesterday in their match against Indiana. Got off to a bit of a slow start, just 8 kills and hit only 167, but she's come off to a hot start here, and that's going to make Stanford defend much differently.
Yeah, got that first match under her belt here in her first regional as a freshman.
Stanford leads by 1. Here she is again, the fab freshman. 3rd straight kill for Moana.
Pac-10 Freshman of the Year. She'd love to make it to the next round.
And that's an important one, the national championship in Kansas City. USC's been there 4 times at the championship. Stanford has been there 3 of the last 4 years, but have not yet won it. They've struggled to get past Penn State. Here's Lichtman with the set to Kleinman, who finds the angle.
And that was a smart decision by Alex Kleinman. She read the block perfectly. She was able to get that point. She read the block, took something off of it, got a nice cut on that one, straight down.
Kleinman out of Manhattan Beach, California, the Academic All-American of the Year, voted on by ESPN Magazine and the COSIDA directors. She gets the service ace. Ace is everything.
Ace is everything. She really does. I mean, the accolades just keep going for Alex Kleinman. And I don't think we talk about the academics enough. Both of these teams had to come in. They all had finals. They had to come in 2 different shifts, different players coming at different times. There's a lot that goes on for these student athletes.
So Stanford yet to find an answer. 4 straight kills for Moana, sorry. It doesn't roll off the tongue as easily.
I think we'll go with Fallon, her first name, most of the way, but you're right. And we're going to be 13. Saying this for a long time, just a freshman for USC. And she has seen what she needs to do, working on things.
And there's that 2-setter rotation there, and it's so interesting. Cook sets the other setter, Cassidy Lichtman, who gets the kill. What a dynamic, and they've both adapted to their roles so easily. Here's Moana getting ready to receive. She's become a better defender. Stanford still struggling to find a way to defend her. Again, outside, gets it.
And Holly, every time Moana, she just keeps going at them 100%. Until the block for Stanford can figure out a way to stop her, she's not going to change it up.
That's a freshman she's going one-on-one against, and Rachel Williams has got to do a better job there. Triple block for USC, and boy, back and forth. Stanford was up by 3. USC made a 4-point run, and now we are all tied up at 9 apiece.
Just a perfect read by USC on that block. They were just waiting for Lichtman in the middle.
And that one was easy, the little tap across from Alexis Olgard, another one of those talented freshmen. But Moana doing a terrific job here pacing USC, and I wonder if Stanford was expecting this so early in this match.
Mick Haley for USC said he wasn't sure if he was going to have Fallon serving in this one because she's got the top spin, and Stanford typically is a team that can receive the top spin serves very well. But right now, Moana doing an excellent job with the top spin serve.
Right down the pipe from the other freshman, Kylie Wopat. Stanford service back.
Well, that serve went right to Gabby Els, the libero for Stanford, all-time leader in digs, and that's the perfect pass, perfect set, and that's why Stanford gets it back.
Cassidy Lichtman on the serve for Stanford, and Jupiter. She was active early before Moana got active, and got so many weapons on this USC team. Now in Gina Urango, senior out of Los Alamitos, California, with the service error.
And Holly, for USC, we talked about Alex Jupiter and how she was going to have to be a big impact player. But you got to take some pressure off her. And right now, USC has done that going to Moana so often. You've got to mix it up, and they're doing that.
Sophomore Hannah Benjamin checks into the match. Service expert for them. Jupiter gets it inside. So 2 straight kills for Alex Jupiter. And USC showing some real firepower, jumps out to a 2-point lead here in set 1. Kendall Bateman, the setter for USC, now on the serve. Wopat down the middle.
And USC's defense had slowed that middle option down the last couple of times, but not this time. And John Dunning, the head coach for Stanford, told us the middle will be the key for his team, and they're going to keep going to the middle as often as they can.
Quick middle set is read by the Stanford block. That's Walker. And Spellman getting up on the combo. We'll tie it up at 13. Serve, USC out of system. Kleinman. Back to Kleinman, and this time gets the kill.
Alex Kleinman is above both blockers there for the double block, and here we'll see it. And this is why she's able to do what she does. You've got to at least get a tip on this. You're not going to completely block it straight back to her, but if you can tip that and slow it down, you've got a chance.
And that's the risk reward of that aggressive serve from Carly Wopat. 22 service aces on the season, but 32 service errors make that 33 now, and USC, with things tied, has a chance. Tip from 6-6 to seize USC. They've played twice this season, but not for more than this. They're trying to get a ticket to Kansas City to play for this, the national championship trophy. Stanford leads USC by 1 in the first. We are here at the University of Dayton, the site for the first regional final. There will be 4 today, but John Dunning, who has been experienced in NCAA play, won 2 national championships in his 6 seasons at Pacific, 9 years at Stanford, already 2 titles, 4th in volleyball history.
And Holly, John Dunning's the only coach to win championships at 2 different programs in his first season. So he goes to Pacific, wins the championship first year, heads over to Stanford, does the very same thing.
Man knows how to coach, and Stanford showing it here with a 2-point lead in the first set over USC. Krista Cook, the second setter, back in. And a one-on-one block from Walker. She's heavily bandaged. She's got a big tape on the left arm, the left leg, but she's effective there.
Yep, but they said, no worries. She's out there. She's been taped up all season long, and now I think now it's just a superstition.
Back-to-back, but they are there. Stanford's defense. Back row Jupiter. And here's Kleinman. Great dig from Ailes. What a rally. Kleinman outside, finishes it for the Stanford Cardinals.
What a rally from both of these teams. And for USC, the double block got up against Alex Kleinman 2 different times earlier and got the tip, but not on the 3rd try. They were able to slow it down and stay in it, but not that 3rd time. The block couldn't get there.
4-point run by Stanford has them up 18-14. Kleinman pacing the way with 4 kills as the Cardinal on top. Welcome back to Dayton University for a regional final. A trip to the championship round is on the line. Nick Haley calling a timeout after Stanford ran off 4 straight points. An experienced coach, 9 years at USC, 2 national championships, and he also has a gold medal. Felt the time was necessary to regroup right there for Stanford, or for USC.
He has that instinct. Both of these coaches are such smart coaches. They will do every single thing that they can do. And they know there's a point where it's out of their hands. But if they know they can make a change, they will make it happen.
Katie Fuller outside the pin. And here's Cook to serve again for Stanford. 5 straight points for the Cardinal. Can Fuller end it? And she does.
Point, Trojan. Back to serve, number 3.
Katie Fuller, the 6'2" sophomore for USC. This is a player, number 22, you don't always think about her, and that's a player that USC has to get involved. They take that timeout and they say, let's get the offense moving around to multiple hitters.
Walker goes angle on that one. Beautiful elevation from Walker.
So deceptive as well. She was just sort of lingering. You weren't quite sure if she was going to slide around. And you also have to give some credit to Cassidy Lichtman, their senior setter. She's a very deceptive setter, and she really set that up.
Lyman on the serve. Off the block. And the Trojans keep sticking around. Hitting very well here early, Stanford. USC was hot early, struggled a little bit of late, but getting back into it with that swing.
Both teams close to 400 hitting. The hitting percentage, very similar in baseball. Your goal is to be up around the 300 area, and if you get up to 400, you are doing something.
Come on, Alexis. Come on, Alexis, pick up your hitter.
Here's a chance for Stanford. Outside, Williams. On the overpass, Walker again in the middle. Jessica Walker, a sophomore out of Houston, Texas. What a story. She's only played in half of the sets this season, just 50, but she's red hot in the postseason.
Definitely a player that you don't always think of, but as of late has put it together. And sometimes that's all it takes, enough repetition for a freshman, and the light switch finally goes on.
Off the fingertips of the block.
Point, Trojan. The serve, number 13, Helen Moana.
Fanoy Moana into the net.
Point, Cardinal.
3 service errors for her yesterday in their match. Struggled a little bit to kind of get going, but she has been on fire to start out this one.
Some are calling her a player of a lifetime. One of the most highly recruited players in the country. Chose USC. And Jupiter wide on that hit. USC calling another timeout, trying to regroup before Stanford finishes off set 1. They lead at 23-17. Here's a look at what's coming up the rest of the day. 9 hours of college volleyball on ESPNU. And here's a look. Penn State taking on Duke. Duke trying to be the first ACC team into the national championship semifinals in history. What do you see in that Penn State regional?
Well, and for Duke, it would be their first national semifinal. And so, you know, there'll be some jitters, especially against a Penn State team playing at home. A team that lost a couple of All-Americans, you'd think maybe they're going to struggle a little bit this year. Not the case whatsoever. They get one of the top seeds. They're playing at home, and they got a player named Blair Brown, and she's pretty good.
Blair Brown, Big Ten Player of the Year, had a terrific match. 24 kills yesterday in their regional semifinal. And the Penn State Nittany Lions, you might remember, they went on that 109-match winning streak, one of the longest in college sports history. And it was the Stanford Cardinal, the team you're seeing right here, that upset them this season.
Earlier this year, a major upset, 109 matches in a row for Penn State. What an amazing task. And for Duke to have to go to Penn State, it will not be easy. But they would love to get their first trip to the national semis.
Ellie Kadanak has been the person behind the wheel for the Blue Devils. She has been terrific ACC Player of the Year, but she will have to do it on the Nittany Lions home court. Beth Mowens alongside Karch Kurai to get you set up on that action. Takes that to the net, pays off for USC.
A timeout leads to a score for USC. Nick Haley has great timing. He knows when to let his team kind of play through some struggles and when to take a break, talk it over.
Ringo on the serve. Oh, tight to the net, and Stanford in all kinds of trouble. Jupiter puts it away.
That set was a little bit behind Alex Jupiter, but she was up there, had the hang time readjusted, and got the angle.
3 kills for Jupiter. Hasn't been as efficient, hitting just 222, but still they've gone to her, really mixing it up. They went some middle, tried to establish their outside to the pins. And that seems to be working right now for USC as they've staved off Stanford. It was 23-17, 2 timeouts, and USC has come back with 2 straight points. Well, ESPN, the home court of college hoops. The action continues Sunday afternoon on ESPNU, a doubleheader. First at noon, Appalachian State takes on the Georgetown Hoyas with their all-star Austin Freeman. And then at 2 Eastern, Corey Fisher and the number 12 Villanova Wildcats face LaSalle. That's college basketball on ESPNU coming up on Sunday. Well, Penn State made so much national news. I loved it how it trickled over into other sports. People were paying attention to college volleyball. How did that affect the world of sports?
You know, I think it was a big plus for college volleyball in particular and for women's sport. I think it was spectacular what they were able to do, and it's going to be very difficult for anybody to even get close to that. But there's other win streaks out there. They were right up there, and only the men's tennis program from Miami with 137 above them. UConn's women still rolling with 87 going strong.
That's right. We're here in Ohio. Their next game is going to be against Ohio State in Madison Square Garden. Jantel Lavender might have something to say about that UConn win streak, and if it continues. Ohio State got past Oklahoma. A very nice win for the Buckeyes last week. So Stanford trying to close things out, but USC sticking around 2 straight points. And an unforced error that time by Durango. That's very difficult in that situation. You can't afford mistakes like that. And now here we are at set point. Stanford just a point away from closing this out.
And Holly, that's the difference of this match so far. Little errors here and there that USC have added up here late here in set 1.
Jupiter on the outside. Middle. Wopat mistimes it. Jupiter again uses the block. And they live to fight another point. Still down by 4.
Set point Cardinal serving for the Trojans, number 12, Kendall Bateman.
It's been a little bit of a slow start for Alex Jupiter, but as you mentioned too, they've had multiple scorers out there for USC, and that's what it's going to take.
Outside, there's the 6'6" Spellman. She's a lefty. Jupiter mixes it up, this time with the roll.
Stay low, stay low.
Spellman again. Back and forth.
Stay low.
Kleinman blocked. The joust over the net, and the Cardinal hold on the rally.
Cardinals
They win the set 25-20. And it's so amazing. At some points in these rallies, you almost forget your player of the year is out on the left side, Alex Kleinman, but she was able to put that away. Stanford beat USC twice in the regular season, and they're up 1-0 here in the regional final, a trip to the national championship on the line. Welcome back to the University of Dayton in Dayton, Ohio. First of 4 regional finals, the NCAA Women's Volleyball Regional Finals presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Stanford coming out on top 25-20 in set 1. And it was really the story of Kleinman, the player of the year in the Pac-10, getting it done.
She has been the problem for USC all season long. They were going to try to make some defensive adjustments, but she's serving well. She's definitely hitting well. And that is so tough if you're USC to try to stop, because she gets above the block and it just leaves openings for her. She's got 4 kills already in this one, hitting .308.
So close on these statistics in that first set, but really the story is mistakes by USC.
It's really down to some service errors, a couple more hitting errors, and that's really your match so far. Both teams have been hitting pretty well, and as of late, though, it's just been Stanford with a few more kills.
Anna Benjamin stays in, serving for the Cardinal. It's the touch at the net. It's Spellman, who was terrific in that first match. And really, one of the reasons Kleinman was so effective is they spread the wealth. She had some help.
You have to do that because there's so much focus on a player like Alex Kleinman. You have to get other people involved.
Work inside from Lauren Williams out of Houston, Texas. she's been quiet.
Hadn't really talked about her. She's got that long wingspan. She decides to go to the middle one-on-one. It's not an easy matchup with her because I think it was Kleinman there with her.
Spellman again, really starting to come on. 6'6" lefty. That is so hard to see and block.
The improvements that this player has made, she's just waiting over there, but you're right, that left-handed hit, you can see the block, the double block not getting there in time, and Spellman able to finish.
Wopat on the jump serve. Outside, Jupiter. And just like that, we're 2-2 back and forth. These teams so evenly matched. You know, we talked about USC losing to Stanford twice in the regular season, but USC beat Cal, the co-champs of the Pac-10, twice this season. The only team in the country to do that.
Yeah, it comes down to matchups, Holly. It really is all about, there are just sometimes teams that you just don't match up well against. And for USC this year, it was Stanford. For Stanford, it was Cal.
Kleinman with something to do with that.
Watch this approach. That's the way you want the system to be going. You want that perfect set. You want her to be able to get back to where she likes to start. Get that full arm swing.
Carissa Cook on the serve. Katie Fuller, she was effective in that first set. They've got to get her going. A sophomore out of California. 7 kills yesterday against Indiana.
Gives them some size as well. And this is a USC team that has 10 players that are 6'2" or taller. So they've got quite the presence up at the net.
Walker scores for Stanford. Alex Kleinman had all 3 points, but Walker finally getting in on the action.
Jessica Walker, number 17, she's been getting more and more play. After the loss of Stephanie Brown, the 6'4" junior middle blocker went out with the ACL against UCLA this past Pac-10 season. They had to make some adjustments, and Walker has fit right in.
Down the pipe, but nice defense there from Bateman.
Get out here, get out.
Williams, too much power from the freshman for Stanford.
Talk about how well these two teams know one another, and both coaches said, you know, they're going to try to do a little something, and then we'll try to do a little something. And these matches are all different, though, right now. It's a whole different season when you get into tournament play.
Stanford on the point with the wide swing from USC. Bateman speaking to the tower official saying, hey, I thought there was some obstruction in the net, that they were in the net.
She wanted
Mick Haley's up as well.
Find out if it was out before the net violation, and apparently they are going to say it was.
So USC down a point, down a set here. Both teams trying to earn a trip to Kansas City, where the national semifinals take place next week. We are the first of 4 regional finals, volleyball all day on ESPNU, so don't go anywhere. Beautiful back set for Lichtman. And Fanui Moana makes a big statement there.
That is a gutsy play from a freshman, deciding to go ahead and take this miss-hit over. It was actually a block deflection that she decided, I'm going to take it over. She read the defense, not in position, and she found the opening.
And there she doesn't go to the jump serve like we saw in set 1 after that service error. 7 kills for the freshman, who has a nice pass to lead to the point for Alexis Olgard.
Communication from Kendall Bateman, their junior setter, number 12. Gets this pass, it's a little close to the net. It's great eye communication from she and her hitters.
Olgard down the middle. Here comes Lichtman. Off the block. Cassidy Lichtman, senior setter out of Poway, California for the Cardinal.
This is a player that is smart on and off the court, and the decision she has to make, shifting from becoming the setter and that mindset to becoming the hitter, it is just phenomenal.
Jupiter gets the point. And the lead for USC.
In serving for USC, number 2,
way outside the block, not together. Alex Jupiter splits it between them. So athletic. She's so quick as well. Her athleticism allows her to get the shot she wants so often before the glue can get there.
Point, Cardinal.
All tied up now for the Cardinal. And this is about what we expected. The teams know each other so well. And Stanford won the first match 3-0. The second match was a 3-1. So USC making some progress against Stanford. And a touch at the net gives the side out to the Trojans.
This second set after the loss in the first set for USC, so crucial, playing best of 5. You don't want to go down to the break, down 0-2. Put yourself in your best case scenario here.
High outside, Kleinman buries it.
Still just no answer for Alex Kleinman, and just again to her size, she just gets above that approach again. The double block not there. She gets full approach when systems go into her. Really something.
Stanford has been remarkable. And we have a double hit there. Stanford in the last 19 years are 61-3 in the NCAA tournament when they win the first set. So they have had remarkable success. And they haven't lost much this season. There are only 3 losses of the year, once to UCLA in a tough 5-set match, and then twice to Cal.
Yeah, they have a very difficult non-conference schedule, and then they hit Pac-10 play 11-3 on the season against ranked opponents. And it's key wins against Texas and Penn State earlier in the season, so really tough schedule.
You'll see all those teams coming up tonight. Penn State takes on Duke. Texas is in action, as is Cal against Washington in another Pac-10 matchup. As we see USC go on a little bit of a run now, and that is going to cause John Dunning to call a timeout for Stanford, the biggest lead of this second set. USC jumps out by 4. They lead Stanford 11-8. They're down 1 set. We are here at the regional final in Dayton, Ohio. The winner gets a trip to the national championship in Kansas City. And, you know, you've talked a little bit about these are like a batting average. Explain these hitting percentages to us.
Well, the way you calculate it, it's kills, your number of kills minus your errors, and you divide it by the number of attacks. And that gives you your hitting percentage, similar to baseball. Right now, you can see that Fallon Benoit Moana hitting pretty well, 438. Your goal is to hit around somewhere around 300, and she's above 400 right now, getting it done.
So USC really making a statement here in the second set. John Dunning calling a timeout, but they don't get the point afterward. And that will set up a serve from Alex Jupiter. Lineman tries again. She's done a great job mixing up her swing. She brings the heat, and then nice little soft touch shots. And a double hit is called on USC side out for Stanford.
And Holly, that was something that Alex Kleinman could not do last season. She had off-season shoulder surgery on her hitting arm. So last season, still wanting to play, but Coach Dunning said, you can play, but you cannot swing hard. So she always had to mix it up, take something off. And I think now it's really an advantage to her because she learned that aspect of the game. Now the big hitting game is there as well. She can mix it up.
Coach Dunning said, you know, if she did that last year, if she brought the heat, we would take her right out. We wanted her to save her shoulder. As we see USC get another point and go up 13-9. 5-1 scoring run for the ladies from USC.
Haven't seen many runs in this one. We knew it would be close.
Kleinman makes them pay. She has been terrific here. 8 kills for the senior.
Now serving, number 10.
So your step back a couple of steps. Again, the double block not getting there, and Alex Kleinman able to take advantage.
Finding the seam right down that block. And here comes Stanford. 2 straight points.
Alex Kleiman coming in, their best server, 28 aces. Give her another one here. She's got that lofty floating kind of serve. Just catches that back line.
Back row attack, Jupiter. Nice little changeup from Williams, but USC's there. And off the block, the freshman again. Boy, she has been effective.
She absolutely has. And so much pressure on this young player coming into USC, picked the #1 player in the nation by prep volleyball, and she's had a lot to learn, a lot to live up to. Her entire family, just a group of athletes at high levels.
Well, 18 times this season, she has scored in double figures in kills. She has been a big part of this USC success, and they are on top of Stanford, 15-11. Can the Cardinal make a comeback?
Oh, here comes Kara, looking stunning as usual. Who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Tachikara's soft premium leather. It's the perfect blend of strength, beauty, and durability.
The youngest star, Pepper, is making her way down the red carpet now. Pepper, you look adorable. What's your secret?
I've lost a ton of weight, and I'm wearing more fun colors these days.
Who's this? Turn the camera off. This guy's a fake.
People choose 5-Hour Energy over 7 million times a week for lots of reasons. It's a nutritional supplement that really works. Its key ingredients can also be found in everyday foods like avocado, broccoli, bananas, or already in you. It contains about as much caffeine as a cup of the leading premium coffee, 0 sugar, 4 calories. What's going to be your reason for choosing 5-Hour Energy? Its effectiveness? Its beneficial ingredients? There's only one way to know. Try it today.
Stanford won the first set, but it's been more USC that looks like they found something here in set number 2. They lead Stanford 15-11. Stanford down the Trojans twice this season, and Kleinman was the big reason. 27 kills, 15 in the second set. It's that second match.
Mick Haley said they knew they had to make some adjustments. They were going to take some gambles with their defense and try to change it. And for John Dunning and Stanford, he said there's probably going to be a particular matchup that's going to work for them if they find it. And his last several points, I think they found it.
So Fanoi Moana. We'll get her name right because she has been everything tonight. 10 kills now for the freshman. This is against the #3 seed in the NCAA tournament. And she's there on the block. She's doing it all.
We are going to see this player for many more years. So you and I need to start saying her name in our sleep.
I think we will be after this. Look at this. Great defense.
Number 13 up at the net. Look at the movement by the block. That was just her one-on-one, reading it perfectly.
Williams, the freshman, rises up for Stanford. Cuts it to a 5-point lead. And Gabrielle's the great libero in to serve for Stanford. One of their steady servers on the season. 22 service aces. Williams again, mixing it up. 2 kills for the freshman.
You saw this yesterday against Ohio State. Rachel Williams, number 6, the 6-foot freshman. You know, this is a player that came in, didn't really know much about her. And then she rattles off 8 kills, hits 350. And that's what you've got to have, just multiple options. You got to have those players that no one's thinking about.
John Dunning told us before the match that they've had so much talent on this Stanford team. There hasn't been a single night where all 6 hitters are on. And he said, boy, wouldn't that be scary? But they've done it in teams. You know, everybody focuses on Kleinman, but other players have had to step up, and she's doing it right now.
Right.
She's long on that hit.
He was kind of hoping he'd see it here tonight. Right now, they haven't all been clicking at the same time, but as long as they get some kind of rhythm going.
Now let's see if the freshman stays down for her serve. She does. She jump served in the first set, but not here in the second. And another mistake there on that one, though.
That one very close, and I think that Mick Haley's having her stay with this type of serve because he wants the float serve against Stanford. Her jump serve puts a lot of topspin on it.
Cassidy Glickman on the serve. Here's Jupiter. Can she get there? She does. Lichtman saves it for the Cardinal. Back set. And they're saying that that was in. Tight call that time.
Alexis Olgard, #1. At the last minute, you saw her shift her body to the left, and that allowed her to get a much better angle. She read the D up in the air, and she saw where they were, and that made that change in the air.
Here's the freshman. She gets again another kill for Hanoi Moana.
The Pac-10 Freshman of the Year. Look where she starts her approach, well behind the 10-foot line. It's everything behind it. This is a player that has gotten some help adjusting to the college level academically, as well as Division I volleyball. And she's working on her conditioning. She's starting to see what the program at USC can do for her.
And since she got going early in that first set, her fire and competitive nature out there has really changed the momentum here in this match. USC opening up a big lead over Stanford in set number 2. Down the middle, but Kleinman is rejected.
USC saw Kleinman. They knew she'd try to go to the middle there, and they were waiting for her with the triple block. Come together, put the hands over, great angle.
Good pass from Ailes. The quick inside to Wopat. That's been effective for the Cardinal.
Carly Wopat, her twin sister Sam is on the team. Carly came in the #4 recruit in the nation.
Anna Benjamin checks into serve for Stanford. Deceptive move from Bateman, but there is Ailes. And USC caught standing around. What a sneaky move.
Gabby Ailes, just when you think for USC that you snuck one by him, Gabby Ailes, the senior libero for Stanford, comes sliding in.
Mistake that time from Stanford, and Ailes, the all-time career digs leader in Stanford history. She shows that versatility.
There you see her. She's wearing the dark jersey, the libero. She wears that opposite colored jersey in that
Set
position.
point now for USC. Not so fast. Stanford sticking around. And coming up, we've got all kinds of volleyball news for you. We'll give you a breakdown of this region, but we've got regional previews. 3 regions to go. Coming up, 3 tickets to the national championship on the line. We'll have all of that for you in the studio. Kara Capuano, Jason Pitcher. And so that's a big change in momentum. USC pounds Stanford in the second set to tie things at a set apiece. We'll take a break, but first, USC making a big change there. And Coach from USC, Mick Haley, will stand by with us right now for a moment. And Coach, what was the big difference in that second set? It seemed like a whole different team out there.
Well, we were playing very well in the first set, but we'd given up 3 aces. They're serving very tough, and the thing that helped us was we didn't give up any aces. We served a lot tougher, and I thought we took the offense to them. That's something we haven't been able to do, so it worked well for us.
You know, Mick, you told us earlier today that you try to recruit and get competitors, players that want to play. I just saw a different side of Fallon Hanoi Moana. What a competitor, and how did that energy kind of bleed over and kind of lift you guys there in set 2?
Well, she's always been competitive. She just has to get in a groove a little bit. We got her enough balls. She touched enough balls. She's ready to go now, but she'll always compete. I think you can count on that.
What's something that you saw here from your team in set 2 that you can build on for the next set, Coach?
I thought we looked pretty confident. I thought we understood exactly what Stanford was trying to do, and we're getting close to really being on it. So if they don't change too much, I think we've got a good chance here.
All right, well, thanks very much. We'll see you back here in just a minute. Now let's check in with our studio. Let's go to Kara Capuano, Justin Kutcher, and Elizabeth Moreau in the ESPNU studio.
Ollie, thank you very much. Yes, we are inside our Sports Center Youth Studios. Elizabeth Moreau, former middle blocker for Butler. I'm Kara Capuano, and they just asked Coach Haley the question, so I'm going to pose it to you. From an analyst perspective, Elizabeth, what was different between the first set and the second set as USC came back and won the second set?
Well, in the first set, Stanford did a very good job of capitalizing on USC's unforced errors. They had 4 service errors USC did in the first match. I think that was the difference. In that first set, though, Alex Kleinman, 4 kills. She's playing very consistent and smart right now. In the second set, though, I think that USC just came out with a lot more fierce and a lot more hunger. But Alex Kleinman, the stat that I was telling you about earlier, that she doesn't play as well on the second night when she has back-to-back night games. I don't think that's the case tonight, although in the second set, she struggled a little bit. The leader on their team, I think coming into the third set, they just need to keep going to her. Also doing a good job of spreading the ball around on the right side with Spellman.
And the difference between these two Pac-10 stronghold franchise, if you will, the programs, is that this year Stanford is senior heavy, USC is freshman heavy. Bright horizon, bright future there. And one of the players, Fallon Fonoimoana,
thank you for,
I don't think I got it right, but she has had an outstanding match. What did she do from set 1 to set 2 to improve her ability?
Well, she did a good job of just switching up her shots. Power to the deep corner, but she also, again, playing very smart as a freshman, tipping the ball over, roll shotting, but just using her strength. She's also been an incredible force on the outside, blocking, not only stuff blocking, but also getting the touch on the ball, which is exactly what USC needs to do to slow down Alex Kleinman.
There are 4 teams from the Pac-10 Conference in the Final 8 as we have our back-to-back regional finals here today on ESPNU. Next, we'll head out to the University Park Regional. That pits up Penn State against Duke. Then it's Purdue against Texas from Austin. And then the final match of the night, 11:30 Eastern. But that's okay because it's 2 West Coast teams. It's California, the 7 seed, against unseeded Washington. One thing that's pretty interesting about where we're at right now in the regional finals is this is the first time since seeding began that we don't have the #1 team nor the #2. Florida fell to Purdue. Nebraska falls last night to Washington. And after that match, it got chippy between the 2 coaches, John Cook and Jim McLaughlin. What happened there from what you've heard?
I've heard a lot of different things, but I think it was just both of these coaches, very competitive natures. They've had a little bit beef over the past, 15+ years that they've been coaching. Ball was called in that Nebraska thought was out, and I think that John Cook said something that he thought the ball was in. Something was said back and forth. There was shoving. Not a good situation.
It's just heated. There's a championship and the chance to play for one on the line, including what's happening in Dayton. Rivalries are fierce, especially in volleyball. USC has evened up the match against the higher seed Stanford. Looking forward to set 3 from Dayton. Holly Rowe and Krista Blunt coming back.
To the NCAA Women's Volleyball Regional Finals presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Stanford took set 1. USC took set 2. What a turn of events here. University of Dayton Arena. I'm Holly Rowe along with Krista Blunt. And it was really a tale of 2 sets. Very different Stanford team in that second set. Krista.
Completely different. It all came down to just some little errors here and there. Service errors for USC early. And then it was hitting errors for Stanford in set number 2.
Stanford really had a turn of events, 9 hitting errors, 3 service errors. They had been so steady in that first set, but for USC, they've taken advantage of their hitting percentage, really more accurate.
USC hitting .464 in set number 2, and they held Stanford to hitting .188. Very impressive defense.
A lot of that credit goes to the freshman. Fallon Fonoimoana, 11 kills. And Kleinman gets the point there. Alex Kleinman has been terrific as well, leading the way for Stanford with 10 kills.
Holly, there's the change right there, and the change in the hitting for USC. They finally got their offense going, hitting .464, and Stanford down to .188.
inside for USC. Warren Williams, the junior out of Houston, Texas.
We saw in set number 2, USC not just going to their main go-to as a lot of teams will do at times. They get stuck going to their set players like an Alex Jupiter, and they mixed it up.
Climbing, soft touch out of the back row, and she's got to be second-guessing herself on that swing.
Yeah, she knew it was off right from the very beginning. She gets ready to approach. She sees the block and thinks, I'll take some off of it. It'll go up and over, and just does not get it there.
So USC, all that momentum in set 2, jumps out to a lead here. They lead at 3-1. Stanford comes swinging back. Williams, the freshman, has been good. Her second kill for the Cardinal.
California Gatorade Player of the Year, the number 3 recruit in the nation.
Soft touch, but Ailes is there. Both teams a little out of system. Can they get it back? Here comes Lichtman off the block. Moana doesn't get the line. And ever steady Gabby Ailes is there.
There you see the libero. She's in the black jersey. Gets that hand down, gets the pancake.
And again, Lauren Williams effective with that middle attack. Coach Haley telling us he was going to maybe switch up his middle blockers, and they have been good inside for USC.
Blocking has been a big key for them. They've been getting the touches on Alex Kleinman as well as the other hitters for Stanford. If you just get that touch, you slow it down, it'll allow you to get things set up and get in your system.
So hitting error there, double hit for USC, and Stanford's tied it up here in set number 3. Remember, best of 5. Played at 25, but must win by 2. Fifth set goes to 15, must win by 2. Gone more and more to the international style of rules for NCAA volleyball. Climbing back rows, dug by Jupiter. And again, in the middle, this time it's the freshman Alexis Olgard.
The middle is going to be a major key for Stanford in its set. It's been the middle for USC. They have attacked at every opportunity.
High outside, Spellman. And the freshman comes the other way. Benoit Moana with her 12th kill of the match.
And that's what you have to do. That's effective right there because you have USC attacking the middle. So you've got Stanford thinking, okay, we've got to readjust our defense, get to the middle. Instead, they go to the outside. Benoit Moana.
The winner of this match goes to the national championship round in Kansas City. The semifinals start on Thursday. And remember, Stanford got upset at home last year in the regional semifinal. They want it more this season.
Yeah, the seniors have said, you know, that was definitely something that just aided them all off season. They worked hard in spring ball. They've worked hard this entire season. They wanted to go further. They want to get back to the championship.
They'll have to find some defensive answers against this red-hot USC team that takes a 2-point lead after Alexis Olgard with the second kill of the set.
The 6'5" freshman, perfect timing as she comes around for the slide. Again, another hitter, multiple options for USC.
They've got to get Kleinman going here in set 3. She's been too quiet. Here she is, back row, and the point.
And Holly, Alex Kleinman's a player who has so many accolades, but has never won the championship. And they have been there. They've had their opportunities, but they have not been able to finish it off. And there you see what they've done the last 4 years.
It's just remarkable. 3 of the last 4 years, they've been in the championship match. They just couldn't close the deal. And Cassidy Lichtman said to us last night, you know, it's weird. We went to the national championship our freshman and sophomore years, and it was so strange not getting there last year as seniors. They are determined to change that, but they'll have to get rolling against USC because right now it seems like USC's got all the confidence in the building.
You are right. Yeah, that senior group winning 4 Pac-10 championships, going to the national finals twice, but not able to finish it off.
Here's Kleinman. Went outside the antenna. A good effort from the freshman, but went wide, and that's what we were just talking about. Kleinman getting going is really something Stanford's looking for. Early in the match, we talked about somebody else had to get involved, but they've done that, and now they've got to go back to their big guy.
Absolutely. You have to continue to weave her into the mix. Don't forget about her.
Over the block. Here's Kleinman. Kleinman again, trying with different swings, changing angles. And it's Jupiter that wipes it off the block for the Trojans.
And Alex Kleinman had to adjust that last one because the double block from USC has become more and more effective. They are reading her much better, and it's allowing them to then get set up into their system and get the score.
So the leader of this team, Alex Jupiter, with a quiet 11, and we only say quiet because Sonoy Moana has been so hot. But Walker down in the middle for Stanford. You know, for Stanford fans who've been watching them all year, she's normally number 7, but today number 17 because they lost her jersey.
Didn't let that affect her. She said, just put a 1 in front of it. I'll be all right.
1-on-1, Jupiter. But Lichtman gets the best of that to tie things up at 9.
What a big solo block. You know, a big hit feels so good, but the big block to me always felt better. And that's just one-on-one reading it by Cassie Lichtman.
Kleinman with the service error. Gives the side out back to USC and the point. You know, we talked about Lichtman doing a little bit of everything. She's their setter. She can attack, and she's good at the net with the block.
And in 2007, her first season, she was a defensive specialist at times as well.
There she is with another kill. Add to all that she's getting her master's degree in just 4 years from Stanford.
Yeah, again, smart on the floor, smart off the floor.
And smart with the angle on that kill. Ties things up. But Williams answers quickly for the Trojans. She'll sub out. That brings back in Olgard.
That was a nice decision by number 8 there, Lauren Williams. She saw that the D wasn't set, so she quickly went for that short set.
Williams with the tip. Now here's Cook setting Lichtman. Cook again. She's the primary setter here, but a mistake by Wopat. Cook again is under the net, so USC comes away with the point.
Stanford got a bit of a break on that one because they were definitely not in system. And the net call against Alexis Olgard, she just got a little too anxious on that one in the middle.
So ties things up 11-11. John Dunning uses that bench a lot. Cook comes in, runs the 6-2. Now she'll go out, and Lichtman will serve. She'll be the primary setter now.
See John Dunning making the call for where he wanted the serve to go from Lichtman. USC, though, doesn't back down. They get the point. You know, I think something that's definitely been more effective for USC here as of late that's allowed them to get into system and get the hits and the shots that they want has been their blocking. They're getting so many touches now, especially when Alex Hyman goes up.
Not that time as Rachel Williams fires it down. Ties things up at 12.
Back to serve, number 4, Hannah Benjamin.
Number 3 overall recruit in the country out of Los Gatos, California. Rachel Williams had 8 kills in their match yesterday against Ohio State. She was named the all Pac-10 freshman team, just bright up-and-comer in this all-star cast. That time, using the clock wisely, USC goes up by 1.
To serve, number 13, Fallon Sonoy Moana.
USC has cleaned up some of those errors. That's how they've been able to extend their lead, stay up in this one.
Wopat gets the call and the point for the Cardinal.
I really like this player, Carly Wopat, 6'2" freshman, very athletic, smart decision maker. She's a versatile player, excellent server.
Also on the all-freshman team for the Pac-10 this season. So much bright talent here in this match for both teams as Kleinman, the savvy senior, says, wait a minute, there's some of us older players still around. Got a little something to say about this.
Well, they had to go to her on that one because the matchup was not there for USC. Kendall Bateman at 5'11" was over there for the double block, and you know Kleinman can get well above her.
Coach Haley told us that was the one matchup they had to avoid here today. It was Kleinman over Bateman. Jupiter outside. And it is out. Point USC, tied up at 14 apiece. What a great match. Stanford all over it in the first set. USC took the momentum in set number 2, winning 25-17, and back and forth we go. A trip to the national championship on the line. Jupiter right down the line. Alex Jupiter sends that one into orbit. The USC Trojans are up 1 over Stanford. Who will get the trip to the national championship to play for this?
This is Dr. Love! And this is Dr. Pepper Cherry. It's got a little kiss of cherry flavor. You want cherry? How about a little kiss? Kiss of cherry. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Oh, here comes Cara, looking stunning as usual. Who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Tachikara's soft premium leather. It's the perfect blend of strength, beauty, and durability.
The youngest star, Pepper, is making her way down the red carpet now. Pepper, you look adorable. What's your secret?
I've lost a ton of weight, and I'm wearing more fun colors these days.
Who's this? Turn the camera off. This guy's a fake.
Well, two of the greatest coaches in NCAA women's volleyball history, John Dunning and Mick Haley, the only two coaches to ever win 2 national championships at 2 different schools, and we've got them here in this match.
Yeah, you know, it would be something to play for either coach. They are both teachers. They still love this game. They have been involved in so many different aspects at so many different levels, the national team level, you name it. But what they've done for their programs, as well as Texas, formerly for Haley, and then Pacific for John Dunning, it's really something.
Two of the best trying to figure out a way to win this one and get to the national championship semifinal that starts on Thursday. Kleinman. Got to get her going here down the stretch.
And the serve, number 15, Melissa Cook.
Both teams at that break hitting 357 here in set number 3.
So 2 setters in on this rotation now for Stanford. And there's one of their setters up at the net. What a block from Cassidy Lickman. And she had some help from Walker.
Well, the beautiful save in the back by Natalie Hagelin, the libero for USC, but that put her out of position just a little bit for that block as it came over.
Pancake from Cook. Joust at the net. Still alive. Jupiter mixes it up. And Kleinman finally puts it away. Stanford up by 2. 2010 NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship begins Thursday, December 16th at 7 Eastern, live on ESPN2 and in HD. We'll see which of these 2 teams can get there. Stanford leads USC by 2. We are tied at a set apiece. Who will get to Kansas City? We'll find out coming up next. of 4 regionals, 4 teams trying to get to that national championship in Kansas City. Stanford and USC tied at a set apiece. And coming up after us, University Park, Penn State trying to hold home court while Duke tries to become the first ACC team to get to the national semifinals. All day volleyball here on ESPNU. After that, 2 more regions, Texas and Washington, as USC gets the point at the net.
The winner of this one will face the winner of the Seattle Regional, and it will be a Pac-10 school. It will either be Cal or Washington. That will be interesting. And then at the other brackets in Austin, Purdue and Texas, and as you mentioned, Penn State and Duke. Penn State, they'd like to be a 4-peat. Is that even possible?
Wow. Well, they were the first to become a 3-peat. Now they're trying for their 4th national championship. But, you know, a lot of talk during this NCAA tournament about the seeding. And, you know, you've got to wonder, I know the NCAA committee, 10 members that make up that committee are watching this match. 4 Pac-10 teams all in the same side of the bracket. I know there'll be some talk about that. Is that what they intended? So the NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship, it starts Thursday in Kansas City on December 16th. You can see it live at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. For more information, go on to the NCAA Volleyball Championship site, ncaa.com. That's your official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. That site was awesome last night. It has an interactive bracket. You could click on the teams. It would take you to a video cast, a podcast. Awesome site, ncaa.com.
Technology today, it is something better. You're right. It's oftentimes very difficult to pull up video for whatever match or game it is you're wanting to see. So it's very nice to be able to see some of the great matches that were going on.
I had a coach tell me that they think one of the reasons, as we look at this replay,
short quicks, now Stanford attack in the middle. Both of these teams trying to exploit the middle.
One of the reasons that, you know, the seeding process can improve over the years is that there will be more games on TV. You know, the NCAA Women's Basketball Committee, they get to see hundreds of games over the course of the season, see teams with their own eyes more. About 100 volleyball matches were televised this year, and as that increases, you've got to think that that will just improve the body of work that the committee can choose from.
Absolutely. I think just the exposure, I think the game of volleyball is just getting better and better, and that people want to be a part of it. You know, the regional sites, the fans have come out. It's a little bit chilly here, but they have braved the weather here in Dayton, and they are backing these 2 teams.
University of Dayton was a seeded team that was expected maybe they'd be here. As we see an illegal hit called, and Stanford comes storming back. Now they lead at 21-18. And they're getting the fans on their feet.
Stanford got to play at home, a win against Albany, a win against Colorado State, and then faced a very tough Ohio State team here yesterday.
Moana trying to grab some of that momentum back. The Cardinals seem to have stolen in the last few moments.
She's the player that turned it around for them in set number 2 and allowed them to get that win.
21-19, Stanford leads. Lichtman is roofed. The block, and guess who's in on that block? Fenoi Moana.
All emotion, read it perfectly. She was just waiting. Look at the lateral movement, get yourself over, hands up and over, and some emotion. It's plays like that. Momentum plays can shift the match around.
Well, coming up later tonight, we told you there's about 9 hours of volleyball on TV, and some of the most exciting will be later this evening, California and Washington. That regional, very interesting. Some fireworks last night after the Washington match against Nebraska. Yeah, coaches didn't want to really connect at the handshake, but much more interesting topics about that region.
Yeah, some close plays, and for Washington, they get the win, the only unseeded team that is left. And Jim McLaughlin's team, he and John Cook face each other at against Nebraska, and a little bit of a disagreement at the end. But you know, we talked to Nick Haley about that here today, and he said, "I think it's good. It shows you how much it means to get these wins." And when you see these 2 Pac-10 matchups, Rich Feller's team at Cal, they're the team that Russ Rose at Penn State said he's concerned about. They are a team that beat this Stanford team 2 times in their Pac-10 season.
You know, Carly Lloyd, their outstanding setter, one of the candidates for National Player of the Year. And you think about that. Here's Carly Lloyd at Cal. She's a co-champion with Stanford and Alex Kleinman, who was the Pac-10 Player of the Year. So who is going to be the National Player of the Year? I know who I would vote for National Freshman of the Year. Fallon Noimoana. Hello.
483.
Haglund serving now, the freshman for USC. They trail by a point here in set number 3. A best of 5. Wopat mixes it up, and that is some savvy from a freshman.
The hang time from Carly Wopat. You see her kind of hanging. Just at the last second, saw that double block come up. She just tips it up and over. You got to make those split-second decisions.
And the deception, the arm swing comes up looking like she's going to bring the heat, and she rolls it nicely.
You're right. Threw that double block off, full arms up and extended, and she just tipped it up and over.
2-point Cardinal lead. And the Trojans answer. Noimoana tries to mix it up, but defense is there. Back row, Jupiter is dug up by Lickman. Noimoana. And there is a violation. They don't give her the kill. We're waiting to see what the explanation is. He's calling it an illegal hit or lift.
And she is frustrated. They're going to say she carried it, I'm sure.
Bateman, the captain, is over here talking to our official, Brian Hemmelgarn. Tries to argue her point, but to no avail. Stanford, 3-point lead, trying to close out set number 3. Noimoana, she was mad on that one. She was going to make sure there was no question on the legality.
Her 16th kill of this match.
Kleinman, 17 kills. The freshman, Noimoana with 16 kills. Whose will win out? And Stanford a point away from taking this set number 3.
This is a big one, and that was a big hit from Alex Kleinman because we really haven't said her name much as of late, and they found her finally.
USC calls timeout.
So Mick Haley calls a timeout. They trail Stanford by 3. We've got more coming up for you on the weekend. Sunday, what a great day to sit back and listen to some college basketball on ESPN. Appalachian State against Georgetown, that's at noon Eastern, and then Villanova against LaSalle coming up at 2 Eastern. So many great sports. The men's soccer final has been going on. We've got the women's volleyball tournament. There are so many great things coming on. And the player of the year, we were just mentioning it, is who do you go for here? There's so many worthy candidates. Who do you like?
We've been talking about this for a while, but a lot of things change as you get closer and closer. Teams get knocked out, and then you say, oh, maybe it's this player. But these are some of the players that we think, and we've seen a few of them here. Alex Kleinman, the senior that we're watching right now here against Stanford. Kelly Murphy, even though Florida was upset, she is spectacular. Another one of those players, she's a setter and a hitter. I'm always impressed. Britt Delano from Nebraska, she is something, just the size that Nebraska has. And Julianne Fawcett's a player that when she started out at Texas, everybody thought, oh, she's going to be the one. She's been a little up and down as a player, but this year been consistent. And I like Tara Murray also at Cal. I got to give her a little bit of props there for Cal because I think she and Carly Lloyd are a great combination.
Fawcett with 19 kills last night to get Texas past Illinois in 5 sets. And here's Kleinman, 18 kills, hitting .349. 43 attacks, only 3 errors. She's been very efficient.
Just so steady, just that calming presence out on the floor.
Wow, Jupiter from the back row right down the pipe to bring USC within 2. Stanford, though, still with the set point. Noimoana with some service errors in this match already. Can the freshman calm down here? Nice serve. Kleinman. And a lift gives the set to Cardinals. Stanford Cardinals survive 25-22 and take a 2-1 lead in the match. What a way to lose a set.
2 sets to 1.
So the mistake, but the senior Kleinman doing it all. 18 kills as she tries to power the Cardinal to the national championship.
The NCAA Women's Volleyball Regional Finals is presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up.
The University of Dayton, the site of one of 4 regionals today. We are the first. USC coach Mick Haley frustrated after that last call that gave the set to Stanford, and he has been issued a yellow card that is a warning. If he gets another infraction, he would receive a red card and could face expulsion. And you can see why he's upset, though, Krista.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. They called the lift on his setter, Kendall Bateman. And that turned it right over. You hate to lose a set on a play like that. But he's got a smile on his face right now. He'll get it turned around. I love the competitiveness between these coaches. And he told us, he said, I couldn't have coached me, as he was a spectacular setter at Ball State in his day. But he said, I wouldn't want to coach me. I don't think I could. Very competitive.
Coach Haley, an Indiana native, grew up about 10 miles away from the state of Ohio. Wanted to play football, baseball. It didn't work out. In a pickup game with a classmate, the classmate kind of recruited him to start playing volleyball, and the rest is history.
Now he's in the Hall of Fame. Imagine that.
Not a bad pickup game.
Yeah.
Back set. Bateman finds the freshman, but she's dug. Good defense from Stanford. And Kleinman finds a spot in the corner.
Both teams have hit very well in this one. Stanford dropped below 300, but right there, both teams in set number 3 hit very well above 300. And just little things, a couple of extra service errors for USC. That has hurt them. A couple more aces for Stanford. Just a close one.
Carly Wopat, 7 kills today. The freshman out of Santa Barbara, California. She's been terrific. Jupiter into the block. Quick middle inside. Lauren Williams puts it away. These two teams trying to get back in that championship mix. Stanford has been to the national championship semifinals 3 of the last 4 years, but they haven't had a title for a while. They're seeking their 7th. USC has 4. They're going for number 5. And both of these teams have been so relevant to women's college volleyball, but it's been a while since they won. Stanford hasn't won the national championship since '04. It's a little bit of a drought for both programs, but with so many talented players looking to get back in the mix.
Oh, their recruiting classes have been spectacular. This freshman class for USC, #1 recruit class, and the freshman for John Dunning and Stanford, the 3rd best recruit class. A lot to look forward to with both of these teams. And you're right, the Pac-10 as a whole, they've won 5 of the last 9 championships, but they haven't had a win since Washington did it in 2005. Penn State stepped in, Nebraska was in there for a year.
4 Pac-10 teams still alive with a chance to go to the national championship. These two here, Cal and Washington, play later tonight. And another great spot. Kleinman really working that back corner. Gives Stanford a 2-point lead.
Alex Kleinman talking to the official. What a beautiful save by Ailes. That allows Kleinman to go right down the line, gets it past the double block. She just turns her body, gets the slice.
USC trying to stay relevant here in this match. They lost twice in the regular season to Stanford. Have they made progress? The young freshmen, 3 freshmen start on this Trojan team. Have they grown up enough to overcome Stanford's big 3 seniors trying to get a national championship for the first time in their career?
On paper, Holly, USC has gotten better. All of their numbers have gotten better throughout Pac-10 play into the NCAA tournament. And I think you can definitely see some major improvement with this team. And that freshman right there, Fallon Fanoy-Moana.
17 kills, hitting .441. And a double hit. trying to set out of system. Katie Fuller, not normally a setter, and you could tell from that attempt.
Got to make the smart decisions. You know, Stanford, we think of them as being such a veteran team, but other than those 3 seniors, they have 10 of their 14 players are freshmen and sophomores. But they look to those seniors. The seniors kind of help them understand this is the way you should be doing things. This is how you should be feeling while you're out here. The emotions, the up and down.
Cassidy Lichtman, one of those seniors, told us that we were so upset after we lost in that regional semifinal last year. We had a different work ethic. We worked harder in the spring and the winter, and the freshmen came along, took into that leadership and joined those seniors.
Nick Haley's finding that from his freshmen as well. They have bought into the system and what he expects, the competitive nature. You're seeing it right there.
You could see Fanoy Moana say, keep working. The freshmen showing some leadership as well. And another point gives USC the lead by 2. There's been no breathing room. Other than set 2, when USC jumped out to that big lead, it has been point for point a fight here in Dayton.
One run, and that was SC.
Just misses coming out of that back row attack.
Not completely Alex Kleinman's fault, though. The set from Cook was a little bit low, and once she starts the approach from the back row, she had to go with it.
USC opens up a 3-point lead here in set number 3. Excuse me, set number 4. They lead Stanford by 3. USC leads Stanford by 3 here in the 4th set. Here's an overall view of what's happened in the NCAA tournament. Penn State seeking their 4th straight national championship. They are one of 2 Big Ten teams left in the field after a record 8 teams made it originally. But the Pac-10 really showing their strength with 4 teams still left. But the big shocker for the first time since seeding began a decade ago, the number 1 and 2 seeds not advancing to a regional final.
Yeah, number 1 Florida, so such high expectations. They were in that 1 spot for so many weeks in a row.
Such a shock when they went down in 3 sets to Purdue yesterday. But I looked it up, just hoping to give Mary Wise something to be cheerful about today. She's only got 3 seniors. And Kelly Murphy, one of the Player of the Year candidates, just a junior. Florida will be back. They've been the number 1 team most of the season. And although they got the 3-set upset against Purdue, they'll be back.
They will definitely be back. And Nebraska, the number 2 seed, a loss for them to Washington, an unseeded team. But they're playing on their home court. That is a plus.
Jessica Walker has been quiet. We haven't seen much from her since she was so effective in set number 1, but she finally gets on the board there and closes within 3 for Stanford. Back row, Jupiter, and the block is there in the middle. It's the freshman Wopat and the senior Lichtman.
Lichtman always seems to be involved in those big plays. Just a smart decision maker. You can see her feet moving. She's reading that. Is going to go left? No, she goes to the middle.
Miscommunication. Fanoy Moana, too much on that swing. And the point goes to Stanford. They're back within 1.
John Dunning's team in Stanford, they have been in lapses where they are trying to go to the same players over and over again. When they've mixed it up, they've stopped those runs from USC.
You can see their strategy, trying to serve Fanoy Moana more and more and force her to pass. Seemed to work on that one.
Putting the pressure on the freshman.
So USC calls a timeout. We are all tied up 9 apiece here in set number 4. Stanford leads USC 2-1. Welcome back to the first of 4 regional finals tonight, presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We've got all kinds of volleyball action continuing tonight, but nothing getting more exciting for what we've got going on here at the University of Dayton. Stanford leads it 2-1, but we are going back and forth for a chance to get to Kansas City. Who will go to the national semifinals? Action starts on Thursday. A win tonight will send them to the national championship. And you can see a clear strategy now. They are continuing to serve the freshman, Fanoy Moana, to try to slow her down.
Yeah, it's an interesting play as they're going to shift around now and move her over. Smart decision making, though, as Gabby Ailes, the senior libero from Stanford, goes back with that float serve.
They get the touch at the net, and that's why they're trying to slow her down, because she has been unstoppable at the net. 21 kills now for the freshman out of California. Right down the middle, Wopat. Now here's Jupiter for USC. Williams finds a seam. The freshman gives Stanford a 1-point lead.
Key shots. Rachel Williams, number 6, the 6-foot freshman. Don't hear much from her. She's kind of a quiet player, but it's so important to weave her into the offense.
Rickman on the jump serve, effective. But Fanoy Moana wins the service back immediately for USC and ties it up at 11.
How about Alex Jupiter? Just phenomenal, beautiful pass starting in the back row and just great hops. She gets that one because the double block hadn't come together. Gets up and over him.
Urengo on the serve. Checks in for USC, but here's Jupiter. Way outside. Down the pipe she comes. Kleinman with her 21st kill of the match.
That is self-defense. Get out of the way of that one. And that's what they had tried to do earlier before the timeout. The set was a little bit off. That one was exactly where Alex Kleinman likes it.
The senior Pac-10 Conference Player of the Year. The ESPN, the magazine, Academic All-American of the Year. Kleinman doing it all for this Cardinal team. Here she is again off the block, but no. Here comes USC. Jupiter swings, but the ever-steady Ailes is there. Kleinman tries to mix it up. Back and forth we go. Kleinman rejected at the net. The Trojans keep it alive with a wild rally. But Kleinman finds the seam again. Goes angle for the point.
The composure by the seniors for Stanford. What a rally, because there were some beautiful saves on both sides, but Kleinman gets it done.
She had 4 or 5 attacks during that rally. All 4 or 5 different types of swings. That shows you the versatility of this outside hitter for Stanford. Back set, Spellman in the corner. 3-point lead for Stanford, and Nick Haley has seen enough. Calls a timeout for the Trojans. You know, so much of the talent we see here on the floor comes from California. And how about this? It all comes from Miracosta High School. 3 players here on these 2 teams today, on that one team that won the CIF championship in 2006.
How could they not be champions? There's Alex Kleinman, number 1, who was a senior on that team. And then she had to work with the opponent from tonight, Kendall Bateman, the junior setter for USC here tonight. And then the freshman, Fallon Fanoy Moana, freshman here for USC. But at one time, they were all teammates together, and they were champions. And we talked about how much they know one another. Not only were they high school teammates, so many of these players, they play on national teams together, junior national teams, club teams. They know one another. They play against each other all through high school and club play.
37-0 Kendall Bateman was with that high school team, won 4 state championships. And a trip to the national championship now on the line. Here's a look at who has been the most effective tonight. No surprise, the freshman and the senior.
Who used to be teammates, and now they're going up against each other, and they're both bringing it. 21 kills from Fanoy Maana. And this is a player, she's very close to her career high of 23. She has tied that twice now this season. Kleiman, career high of 39. She's got a little ways to go, but still spectacular numbers from her.
Stanford leads this 2-1. A win here would close it out and get them a ticket to Kansas City for the national championship. Back row attack from Maana, just about levels Ailes. Ailes again there on the defense. But Kleiman is rejected at the net. USC gets the point and the service.
Another big timeout from Mick Haley for USC. Settles his team down, and he breaks that run that Stanford was going on. They need this set right here. They've got to get this one, or Stanford's going to be going to the national semis.
2 points down. USC's block does it again at the net. A point after some good defense.
The size, the presence of USC, their block has definitely been on more in this one than Stanford's.
Bateman serves her former teammate Kleiman. Now the roll shot. Fanoy Maana is there. Eye outside. Kleiman off the block. The overpass, but no. Terrific defense on this rally. And the solo block from Williams ends it for the Trojans.
Lauren Williams, number 8 for USC, at the last second turns around and realizes, I've got a solo block situation, and she sticks it.
6'4" junior out of Texas makes the most of that opportunity. Here she is on the set. Down the angle, finds the inside of that block. Kleiman for her 23rd kill.
You know, you get down to crunch time, you get down to situations where you've got to have points, and you have to go to your go-to. They've got to get the ball more to Alex Kleiman. She's got a lot of swings, but she's a senior. She's like, it's all or nothing right now.
That sets up a good serving rotation because Wopat has been effective with that powerful jump service. She is there. Communication from the Cardinal. And Wopat won't get a chance to give Stanford a bigger lead. And that brings up Jupiter to serve for USC.
That was a close play. I was a little concerned that number 8, Lauren Williams, had possibly gone up and over, even though the point was going to go USC's way. And I think John Dunning's up kind of asking the same thing. Hey, she can't come over onto our side.
Doesn't make much headway, though, with the officials. So Jupiter serves. In the middle, though, Walker makes a statement of her own and immediately gets it back for Stanford. They go up by 1.
Jessica Walker gets a great start on this one. She has amazing hops. The perfect set. When they are in system, it is so pretty.
Williams again. Savvy play at the net from the junior, and she's been terrific here in this match. As USC tries to stay alive, they tie it up.
I love that decision by Lauren Williams right there, number 8. She completely turned as she's up in the air, sees the block, and says, okay, I'm going to use the net to help me out here with this one.
Adrian with the serve, and the ace gives USC a 1-point lead here in the crucial set number 4. The freshman.
What a serve. Crucial point. Those float serves Stanford does not like.
Stanford keeping this close. This has been a back and forth match. So many great plays. Stanford trying to get back to that championship round for the 4th time in 5 years. Lichtman uses the block down finds the corner. Well, don't miss the NCAA Division I Women's Volleyball Championship. It starts next week, December 16th and 18th at the Sprint Center in Kansas City, Missouri. For tickets, call 1-800-745-3000 or visit ncaa.com/volleyball. NCAA.com is the online home for all 88 NCAA championships. I was talking to the Big 12 Commissioner, Dan Beebe. He said they are thrilled to be hosting the championship. They are so excited. Hope the fans come out and make that an incredible event in Kansas City.
I'm sure they will.
Down hard is Williams, the freshman. And Rachel Williams has been in and out at times, but 4 kills for the freshman.
Bright future for her. Just kind of a quiet, nonchalant player. Had 8 kills in their win against Ohio State.
Ailes again with that strategy, serving for Moana. They set her. And Ogard makes him pay for the mistake. Ties it up at 19 apiece.
The serve, number 13.
Alexis Ogard, the 6'5" freshman, gets around so fast on the slide. Nice movement for the big freshman.
Not what they wanted for Stanford. And now Jupiter off the block. Trojans with another chance, and Jupiter makes him pay.
First attempt, the block gets the touch. Too many opportunities for Jupiter.
Gabby Ailes for Stanford, 21 digs. She's doing what she can on defense, but that time Jupiter was too much, and the Trojans take a 1-point lead. We are just the first of 4 regional finals today. There is so much more outstanding volleyball to come. Following up, Beth Mowens and Karch Karai have Penn State taking on Duke. Penn State trying to get to their 4th national championship in 4 years. Well, Duke trying to carry the banner for the ACC. No ACC team has advanced to the national semifinals. That's coming up at 6:30. But then Purdue and Texas. Purdue straight off that 3-set matchup, sweeping Florida. A huge shock. The 16 seed beating the number 1 seed. They will take on the Longhorns on the Texas home court. And then another Pac-10 showdown. Cal, number 7 seed, co-Pac-10 champion team of the year, but they beat Washington easily this year. Can Washington rally on their home court?
The winner of this one will face the winner of that one. They all want to get to the championship rounds and try to get the trophy.
You know, the question has been, can Penn State be stopped? They have got 2 freshman outside hitters. They've got a new setter this year. But Russ Rose just finds a way year in and year out to put things together.
The Pac-10 has some options, and we're watching a couple of them here. You've got Washington and Cal. They haven't done it since 2005. Nebraska got in there in 06, and then 3 years in a row, Penn State, as you mentioned. And it's a team that they've lost a couple of All-Americans, but apparently they're doing just fine. And Russ Rose, just an impressive coach, and what he's done with that program. It'll be interesting to see him. Blair Brown, spectacular player, the Big Ten Player of the Year.
Lickman, the setter, now the attacker, ties things up.
Back to serve, number 8, Cassidy Lickman.
Carissa Cook goes out. She was in for that 6-2, but now the rotation has Lickman setting. Tied at 20. If Stanford wins this set, they go to the national championship. USC wins, we play another. And they seem like they want to.
They have definitely improved, Holly. A team that lost twice to Stanford in the regular season, made some changes. You know, Mick Haley said, we're going to gamble a little bit. We're going to make some changes. Not easy to do the day after you've just played a match and you're going against a team like Stanford to adjust, especially with young players, but they've adjusted in this one.
They made the change. Normally a rotational defensive team, as we see a miss hit there by Uranago, but normally a rotational defensive team. He wanted to change and become more of a read or zone team, not have as much movement and let players really focus on one area of the floor. And they've adapted pretty good having Stanford on the ropes here.
Yeah, the block has been there when they've needed it. They've had a lot of touched balls, especially with Alex Kleinman. She's been a big focus for them. And I think, you know, Alex Jupiter's been on when they've needed her. She's been able to go cross court. She's gone down the line. They've definitely mixed their offense up with multiple players and multiple shots.
So USC goes up by 1. This set has been tied 15 times. Who wants it the most? Kleinman does with that big swing. 24 kills for the senior. Do you think she wants to go to Kansas City?
She's got an agenda. A player that's been to the championship 2 times, not able to get the title.
Back set. Jupiter uses her block. Kleinman on the miss hit.
Bit of a surprise decision right there for Alex Kleinman because Lichtman decided to go with a back set to her, a bump back set. And there you see Lichtman's set, and really just out of position was Alex Kleinman.
Moana. It's hard to believe, but she's been a little quiet lately. Walker, though, not so much for Stanford. And we are getting down to the wire, tied at 23. One team must win by 25 or by 2. So Stanford, if they win a trip to the national championship semifinals in Kansas City on Thursday. Katie Fuller, not so fast, the sophomore. Or, excuse me, that was Lauren Williams out of Houston.
Lauren Williams has been big here in set number 4. Multiple plays to her in the middle, and it's been very effective.
Haglund with the nice jump serve. But Lichtman right down the middle as Stanford knocking on the door, 2 points away, 3 points away possibly.
Got to win by 2, and how about Cassidy Lichtman comes flying in from the back row. This is that 6-2 offense. We talked about 2 different setters. Right now, Lichtman is a hitter for them as Cook moves into the setter role.
Moana wants to keep playing. And now USC a point away from forcing a 5th set.
Gotta win by 2. It's the best of 5. We're in set number 4. Stanford's up 2-1. This is a crucial set for USC.
Sophomore Katie Fuller on the serve is successful. Lichtman outside. And USC forces a 5th and deciding set after Lichtman hits long. The Trojans looked down early, but they come storming back to tie it at 2 sets apiece. The winner of this match gets a chance to go to the national championship semifinals. Lichtman too much, and USC lives to fight another set. The deciding 5th set coming up. Remember, we played a 15 points or win by 2 here in the final frame. The winner goes on to the national championship semifinals Thursday in Kansas City. USC has had an outstanding match from their freshmen, and Alex Kleinman, the senior for Stanford, has been all over the place. Sonoy Moana, 23 kills.
Just spectacular numbers from both players. We weren't really certain for USC. You've got a young team, you're not sure who's going to step up. With Stanford, you knew you had to get the ball to Alex Kleinman. She has to get the swings. She's getting them, but a little bit more consistency with the hitting from the freshman there, Sonoy Moana.
And USC a little more experienced in 5-set matches this season, 7-1, but that can be a little bit of a deceiving stat.
It definitely can. You know, Stanford, you see 0-1. Their only loss in a 5-set match was at UCLA. They don't go to 5-set matches very often. They've been very dominant. Very rarely do they not sweep teams. So it's kind of interesting. We'll see how they handle this. They do have those key seniors, though, to settle their team and get them through this. Remember, set 5 only goes to 15. You got to win by 2.
USC played plagued by some mistakes in set number 2. Who can play mistake-free volleyball here? Hit their serves. Get those hits in. That is going to be the key to getting a chance to play for a national championship.
It's really what this match has been about, just little errors here or there, whether it's been an ace, whether it's been the hitting. The blocking from USC, I think, has been the difference for them, though. They have been there, they've had the touches, and it has paid off.
Kleinman. And Fenoy Moana says, hey, my bad on that defense, passing it right back into the net. There was some talk before this match that Kleinman is not as good on back-to-back nights. She had shoulder surgery a year ago, but she's been terrific. I don't think we can make that argument anymore. She has been red hot tonight.
She has. They have gotten everything from her that they have needed.
The middle. Quick stuff didn't work. And so Jupiter goes back row and gets the point.
It's a tough read right there for the block of Stanford because Jupiter's way off. She kind of stays off the net. She doesn't go right up to it. That set was off for her, and the block not coming together.
Alex Jupiter leads this team in kills per set. And Walker right down the middle. Because of the night that Fenoy Moana has had, you've almost forgotten about Jupiter, and she has really risen up and gotten some critical points for them.
Yeah, it says a lot about the USC team and how they've embraced the young players. They accept their roles. It is definitely a team effort.
Awkward back set, but Kleinman makes the most of it. And a solo block again. Lippman, her second solo block of the match, and the setter being hurt at the net.
Such a clutch player, and it all comes down to decision-making. She's such a smart player, knows that she has to have the angle, have that hand turn just right.
And there's one of those mistakes we talk about. It's not just a mistake, it's a point. And that gives USC the serve, and they pull within one. The freshman Haglund has been so terrific serving. There called against the setter, Cook, as she was struggling to make up her mind what to do at the net there.
Tough call. John Dunning up kind of questioning it as well, because I thought it was almost a joust situation where there was actually contact coming in from USC on the other side, but goes against Stanford.
You remember the illegal set call gave that the third set to Stanford. A huge block gets Kleinman fired up. Walker there as well.
Big block, and they needed it. It was pretty save in the back from Haglund for USC, but the block read that perfectly.
Moana hits long and no touch at the net. Stanford goes up by 2. There's a look at Mary Ellen Luck, number 20 of Stanford, as we see USC take a timeout. Mary Ellen and her brother, Andrew Luck, the Stanford quarterback, is back at the Heisman ceremony. Her parents probably having to make up who they're going to support today. She's playing in a regional semifinal with a chance to go to the national championship. Her brother, Andrew, one of the finalists for the Heisman Trophy ceremony. And Mary Ellen, she's a freshman, so I bet, she said she has talked to Andrew today. They were able to talk. And she's got a lot of volleyball left in her career, so maybe mom and dad went back to New York.
What a story for their family. How exciting is it? I mean, their daughter's playing Division I volleyball for Stanford. Their son, the quarterback's up for the Heisman Trophy, one of the finalists. And, wow, there's a lot of good going on there's a lot of good luck.
Nice. Well, who will have the good luck here to finish out this match? Stanford leads USC 5-3, and a new assist total for Kendall Bateman. She has been unbelievable tonight. 56 assists for USC. Here's a look at Mary Ellen. Out of Houston, Texas, one of those defensive specialists. Siren warm-up. She's got some skills, and she better have if she's going to keep up with her brother Andrew.
That's right.
If he comes out projected to be a pretty high draft choice, has all the skills to be successful at the next level. But Little sister trying to get to the next level herself right here, but a service error from the senior. Two critical mistakes from Carissa Cook with a service error, and then Kleinman here in this deciding 5th set.
Again, Mick Haley takes a timeout, and he gets something out of it when they come back out.
Penn State is coming up next. They will take on Duke. Karch Karai and Beth Mowens on the call. But we've got business to finish here, and then we'll get you out to University Park. 5-5 in the 5th set. Who wants it more? The freshman Williams wipes it off the block. Stanford.
Rachel Williams, two-time state champ out of Archbishop Mitty High School in California. She was the Volleyball Magazine National Player of the Year.
Back row, Jupiter fires it. Ailes again, so steady. And just gets the line. Kleinman, 26 blocks for the senior.
So close. We haven't seen much of this, but now you're going to see a perfect back row attack. The double block in the middle, not sealing it off. And Alex Kleinman gets the perfect approach, perfect set. And that top spin to finish.
You're allowed to hit out of that back row as long as you don't cross that line that goes across the court, 10-foot line. But USC quickly gets the serve and the point. Here's Lichtman off the block again. What a match for this senior. She's done it setting, blocking, and now with the swing. Now they change sides. This is typical with this score. Stanford leads 8-6. And we are down to the final moments. You can feel the tension in the building. Who gets a trip to the national championship?
Some smiles on the Stanford seniors' faces. Lichtman, though, she's in there talking to her team.
Stanford holding hands in that huddle, trying to find some light moments to lessen this pressure, but up by 2. This is a feisty, young USC team trying to upset the 2-seed or the 3-seed Stanford Cardinal. Jupiter fires it down. Just when you fall asleep on Jupiter, Alex is there. 22 kills for the junior.
Well, the reason she's able to be so effective is her quickness. She's got a quick arm, but she has quick feet. She's able to get herself to the spot where she wants to be before the defense gets itself set. That quick arm.
She's averaged over 4 kills a set in the regular season, but postseason up to that total to 5.2. And Kanoy Moana right into the block. Stanford wins the point.
And a big break for Stanford. The free ball they had to send over. USC didn't take advantage.
There's what we're talking about. Alex Jupiter. It's been easy to forget about her because of the performance of her freshman teammate, but 22 kills creeping up. Here she is again. Outside to Kleinman. Overpass. And Stanford 5 points away from a trip to the national championship. These seniors have never won a title. They have appeared in 2 of the Final 4 teams, but they haven't been able to get past Penn State. Penn State follows our match. They're trying to get past Duke. They have the longest home court winning streak in the nation. Can they keep it going against a feisty ACC squad led by Jolene Nagel? Kelly Kadenak, she has been so terrific for them. ACC Player of the Year, but will she be enough to get past Penn State?
Duke never making a trip to the national semis. They'd love to do it. Will not be easy on Penn State's home floor, but you just never know. We've seen a few upsets here in the tournament so far. I mentioned Coach Nagel, and she's the only female head coach that's left to potentially make it in. No female has ever won the national championship.
Only Mary Wise and BYU's Elaine Michaelis. Coach Michaelis, just one of the great legends of all time in the Hall of Fame, led BYU to so many terrific seasons, but Jolene Nagel, the sole flag bearer now for the ladies. But we do know this, a Pac-10 team will get there because we have 2 fighting for a spot here and then 2 fighting for a spot tonight when Cal and Washington tee off. John Dunning with his Stanford Cardinal team. Nick Haley trying to get USC past the Cardinal for the first time this season. And there is Williams.
And again, Nick Haley calls this timeout. His team settles down. They come down and they get a point out of it. Just amazing timing by him.
Williams again. And she is a junior, all Pac-10 for the first time in her career this season. She has really come on strong. 10 kills yesterday against Indiana, hitting .444. And, you know, that middle blocker, she has been so good for them in the middle.
Well, you're right, Holly, and you don't think about Lauren Williams for USC. That kind of got things going earlier in this match. Then, you know, the combination of players put it together, the freshman Fanoy Ma'ana, and just that mixture, that movement of the offense has paid off for USC.
Well, Stanford, the most storied program in women's volleyball history, the most titles of everybody, 6. But Penn State with 4, they're trying for their 4th straight this season. They have been hot of late. Hawaii, a surprising upset. Dave Shoji's team going down in the early rounds this year. Long Beach State, back in the day of the great Misty May.
Yeah.
We are here at the University of Dayton, Ohio. And both teams have come a long way. Stanford from the Bay Area, USC from Los Angeles, but they want to go a little farther. Who will go to Kansas City? Stanford with a 1-point lead, but USC with the serve. It's Bateman. In the middle, it's Wopat, the freshman. 9 kills for Carly.
Coming in, that's what Stanford wanted to do. They wanted to attack the middle. John Dunning said that will be key. USC, I think earlier in this match, did a little better job, but as of late, they have found Wopat in the middle.
Jupiter makes him pay. USC back within 1. Both teams are having finals. USC, 6 people had to take finals here at the University of Dayton this week. Stanford did many of theirs as well. So a lot of pressure, but none more than this 5th set with a trip to the national championship on the line. Outside to the freshman. Yes, Fanoy Moana ties it up.
Like a big breath of air for the team that you just get it tied up and it's start all over again.
Tied at 2 sets apiece. The winner of this 5th and deciding set goes to Kansas City for a chance to play for it all. In the middle, again, Williams is there.
Lauren Williams has been clutch. The junior middle blocker. That long wingspan. Short, quick. Arm in the middle. Nobody there to block it. She finds the opening. It's right open.
Season high was 17 kills, but already tonight, 13 kills. What makes her so unique, at 6'4", she's so long, got the long levers, but the foot quickness, she's up quickly in that middle.
Definitely an attentive player. She has, just as you said, the quickness. You don't expect that from a player of her length, but much quicker foot speed than you would anticipate. And there you see Mick Haley teaching his team. He's such a teaching coach. Love that about him. He and John Dunning both.
USC trying to get back to that national championship run. They're looking for title number 5. Stanford has 7, but they haven't won it since 2004. Who will it be with the opportunity in Kansas City? They will play the winner of the Cal-Washington match. That comes up later tonight. We've got 3 regional finals left for you this evening alone. This is exciting for women's volleyball. Outside, Kleinman. Haglund, the freshman, great defense. And Fanoy Moana, she tries to say it was off the block, but doesn't get the call.
Inner serving, number 15, Carissa Cook.
All tied up. 3 points away. Williams quick in the middle, but they read her this time. And here's Lickman. Kleinman on the overpass gives Stanford the 1-point lead.
A pretty save from Natalie Hadlin, libero for USC, but it sends it right back over to Alex Kleinman, just waiting on it.
Marissa Cook on the serve. Moana. Will they do it the overpass? Cook middle. There's Kleinman, and she's roofed. USC ties it up. Career high in attacks for Kleinman, 78. And with that, she's got 26 kills, hitting 282.
You gotta go to your go-to. Critical point here in this one.
And Walker wipes it off the block. And Stanford a point away from a trip to the national championship.
Point Cardinal back to serve, number 10, Alex Kleinman.
And how fitting, the senior Kleinman with a chance to put it away right here. It's Stanford on their feet. Keeps the Trojans alive. Tied up at 14.
And some emotion from the sideline. You know, we've seen Fenoy Moana make some decisions that she probably should have made, hitting some long, hitting some wide. That one, though, she doesn't let up. She just keeps bringing the power.
Katie Fuller with the serve. Outside, but Williams, the freshman, is long. And USC a point away from their trip to the national championship.
This young team, you can see the excitement. John Dunning was up trying to say, hey, I think there was a touch on that one. They don't give it to him.
Lickman is roofed. USC advances.
USC wins 16-14 decided. Fifth set.
The Trojans upset Stanford. The first time this season they've been able to beat them.
And Holly, almost a little bit of a look of surprise on Mick Haley's face. They knew it would not be easy. They knew they had to make some adjustments. They hadn't been able to figure it out 2 times in the regular season, but they did it tonight. He has to be so proud of this young team.
It was the will of the freshman, Fallon Fenoy Moana. 25 kills, added with 23 from junior Alex Jupiter. And a shocking upset here. USC beats Stanford for the first time this season and wins a trip to the national semifinals. Krista Blanc and our entire crew, I'm Holly Rowe saying thanks for joining us in Dayton.
This is
the number
Center U.